Welcome to the Local Farmer Podcast, where we invite you to join us on our farming journey. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or you're just getting started, we are here to learn and grow together. Our goal is to help encourage, inspire, and equip the local farmer. So let's grab our boots and let's dig in. All right, hey, welcome to the Local Farmer Podcast. I am Brandon.
I'm John.
And we got some pig talk to happen today. We're going to talk about some shenanigans that happened on Thanksgiving morning at the farm, and then also kind of update you on the AI stuff that we've done with our pigs, the artificial insemination with our pigs, trying to get them pregnant because, you know, our program is we're trying to breed so we can have product.
That's right.
So we'll update you on that and where we're at with that and what we've done and all the things we learned and all of that good stuff before we dig in. John, where are we?
Thanksgiving morning. It always has to be on when you got to go somewhere. You got to go out of town. It's a holiday weekend. You got people at the house.
Yeah.
Always it can't be just on like I don't have much going on today.
Yep.
Okay, well the animals got out. Okay, well that's what I'm doing. No, got to be on a busy day.
It's got to be on the day that it's got holidays. Like that's the other thing. It is funny when looking back before we dig in. Make sure whatever platform you're watching it on, subscribe, like. What are the other ones?
Notification bells on.
Yeah.
Go to the channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
Go to channel, click subscribe, click notification. We go get a little ding ding when we post a podcast, and you can see us and comment and talk to us and
try to interact. Yeah,
absolutely. All
right, back into it.
Yeah.
What's funny is we had to say all that. You're right. Like I was going on a trip. I was like going to Jamaica. Boom, the pigs broke out.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes it's where I'm not around, but you are, and you have to take the brunt of it. And it's like I feel guilty. Like you could be sitting here, and be like, dude, it really wasn't a big deal. But I'll feel really guilty about something.
Well, yeah, because you're like, John don't really like cow or horse. Oh my gosh,
They're pigs.
The pigs.
That's good.
Anyway,
The pigs.
And are they going to survive? Because I don't know. No, they're fine. It's just part of it. I mean, but yeah.
So Thanksgiving.
Yeah. One got out and actually broke in with others.
No. You're talking about a different scenario that happened. Not scenario, a different thing that happened. I think maybe a week before Thanksgiving.
Oh, I'm getting those confused.
You are getting them confused. So we can move back just a touch. So there was some grounding issue with our wire, and the other thing that we have done, they have reached a weight to where our automatic feeders, we've kind of pulled those, and we are feeding them daily a certain ration. And one of the frustrations of that is you're not really weaning, you're more or less just changing their diet, and they're frustrated about it.
You change my diet, I get
exactly.
Too,
you say I normally eat 3 meals, and now you're giving me 1 meal, and it's not even like filling me up in the moment. Like absolutely. So the wire was grounded out, and one girl. We have 2 paddocks. Just to give you a little background. 2 paddocks right next to each other. One has 2 boys in it that are castrated, so they can be together. But we're trying to feed them out. Just get them as quick as possible to go and get some profit in.
We're feeding those a little different, a little different feed. So because if you remember, we had we try to go as organic as possible, and clean as possible, and we are with them too.
Yeah.
It's not we're giving them junk, but after we had to antibiotic a lot of them because of that attack, that changed a little bit of that, and so these 2 males were like, let's just.
Lord, we know what the end game is going to be. They're castrated. They're no use to us. Hey, you know what? Let's just get them as quick as possible off property.
So their diet's just different.
That's right.
It's just not the same. And then also we're trying to maintain the bigger ones, so we have to separate them because some we want to gain weight and some we want to stay where they're at.
That's right.
But at any rate,
one got out, and the funny thing is she didn't go far. because she turned around and just walked into the other paddock that had the automatic feeder.
Yeah.
And so that one wasn't too big of a deal. But the one that we're talking about for Thanksgiving morning.
You lost the one. You couldn't find one.
So my wife, so we have a camera system we've talked about on the podcast before. But if you log in, that person has the notifications. So if I'm logged in, I'm getting all the notifications when the camera goes off. But if John logs in, then I no longer do, and he does. So my wife had logged in last, and she looked, and she's like, "You got a pig out." And I was like, "It's Thanksgiving morning. What the crap?" She's like, "I think you got 2 pigs out." I'm like, let me finish."
Because you're doing the rolls and stuff.
I'm finishing up rolls and making rolls for a bunch of people. And she's like, "I think there's a third one out. I only see one." And I'm like, what is happening?
Compounding the stress.
What is happening right now? Yeah. And so I go out there, and I'm honestly, I'm trying not to bother you. Like, cause I'm like, hey, I could try to take care of this myself. So, I've got a great relationship with the ladies. Yeah, by the ladies, I mean the pigs, the female pigs. Okay. They like me. So I knew going out there, I had some treats and stuff like that to give them. But I knew pulling up as soon as they're screaming at me. Like, they're like, ah. So I got 3 of them in, 3 out of the 4 bigger ladies. And one of them was gone. I literally was looking around going, okay, I'm missing one, but where is she?
What's surprising that she would have went off on her own. Normally they want to stay with
her.
So
all 3 of them ran from the bottom of the hill, that driveway going down. That's where they ran from.
Where Boris used to stay.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going, what in the world? Like, so where did I go first? Where they just came from. But I'm like, they all ran. She would have ran. This is the weirdest thing. So I'm walking around. I end up texting you, and I think I had actually texted your wife first about she was picking up some rolls, and we had a game plan with that, and I told her we had to change that because I had to go out to the farm. Anyway, that's why I text you, and I'm sitting here. I'm not good with electric wires. I'm just not good with them. I feel like I just don't understand them, and I don't get them. And John said I should never touch them ever again. But I couldn't find her. I literally was looking everywhere, and I'm like, well, what do I do? Did we just lose one? I walked the road, bro. I went down, where we found Boris the first time, just down there by that bridge or whatever.
Yep.
I walked up that back road. I'm like, maybe she fell down the hill. Maybe she's over here in with these other cows.
Yeah.
I thought I saw her over there. It was actually like something else in the distance, but I was like, she's roaming around with these cows. But anyway, I couldn't find her. 45 minutes looking, and so I gave up, and I was looking at the wire and trying to look at the ground, and you had already said that you were going to be on your way, and then in the distance,
here she comes,
just waddling. She's just like she had the best time. I don't know where she went, but she comes up. I got her in there. We found the issue with the ground, and we're good to go. Yeah. So. That was Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, I mean...
You know what my wife said, though?
Not as planned, but...
Yeah, my wife said, like, you guys got to figure out something better. You guys are not doing a good job with, like, keeping the electric.
Yeah. Well, what's her plan?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't come to me telling me what I need to do unless you got a solution.
Give me a solution. Exactly. Goodness. And you know what? The issue I've always had is the word we. It does not mean the same for men. Like when the wife says we, which means me. Like she's talking about me. Hey, we need to build this. We need to do this. You and John, you need to figure out this. And I'm like, thank you so much, bystander, that has not done anything. I mean, so there are living things inside these paddocks that are moving stuff around.
Yeah, and that's usually what ends up happening. They've rooted the dirt up, and the dirt hit the wire, and the wires hit the...
There's like a branch or something that's touching.
Yeah, so I mean, whether it's cattle, I mean, really with cattle, you've got more chance of that because you got a longer wire. Typically, you don't have a wire next to it. Usually what we find is that the boundary fence... So what we've done, we've talked about it in the past, but if you hadn't known, we have built a pen with welded wire, and then we put electric wire in the middle, or like out from it, so they can't even get to that. So they've got a physical barrier, and then they've got a wire barrier. So the idea is to train them to be just contained by the wire.
Fence. Not go up to the fence.
And then eventually we'd have a bigger space, because all we got to do is run a little electric wire. Now, the problem is sometimes they root, and then the metal, somehow or they'll move feeders around. They move all kinds of stuff. There's rambunctious. So anyway, make the story short, the wire gets against the metal fence, grounds it out. It ain't working, or it's going to there and grounded. And that's all it was. But so we just keep an eye on that. But anyway, I swear horses are the same way. They can sense the electric.
Yeah.
I swear they can. Because if you keep it off, they're good for a day or a week or a month. And then next thing you know, you got one out, you got to turn the electric back on, so.
You want to hear something mean? Like, so when they do that, now what you were getting at was we do have areas that are kind of gates that we can open, that the wire is still there and we step over the wire. And if they ever get out, we drop that wire right there, and we they know that wire. They don't want to touch the wire, but like in the situation that we walked through, like they didn't care. They wanted food. So we got them over real quick.
So the whole result was not so much the wire had grounded, but they probably wouldn't even have tested it had we not been trying to cut their wire back or cut their feed back.
Yeah, that's right. So what I'm saying is, it sounds a little cruel, but I like to, when that happens and we get the wire back up and going, to do something to where one of the pigs knows it's hot.
Because like, it don't hurt them.
You want to say, because I don't want them to be like, oh, that door's open, I'm going to run to it. I want them to know, it's back on. Okay, it's back on.
Yeah.
Because pigs are smart. And we've talked about this multiple times. They really are, and they learn different things. So that was our Thanksgiving, and just a nice little thing. But
and we've had a couple of things there, I think, on our cutting back on our feed, that we like, okay, they got to a weight, let's cut them back. Obviously, like you said, now we're changing their diet. None of us, human or horse or cow or pig, is happy about having our feed cut back. We did that. At the same time, it's getting cold, so they're going to eat more to keep warm. So I think it was just a totality of too much, too quick. So we've kind of rolled that back and starting to give them more feed, and they've been happy since then. So lesson learned.
Yeah.
So, and we knew that too when we did that. We're like, we're going to have to go through a little bit of a trial. We went back to the feeder. Like I started putting in the feeder some and on
a little bit, just to give a little. I do it to give a little bit of space.
Yeah.
And then. Because we're just kind of doing portions on the ground because things are dry right now. But the other side to our conversation today is trying to get the ladies pregnant. And at least four of them were ready. And
we got rid of our boar.
We got rid of
he was obnoxious, but couldn't contain him.
No, and we talked about this early on in the podcast of this is what we wanted to try. There's a lot of pros, a lot of cons to different sides. It depends on where you go. So this is one area that we wanted to try. We wanted to try it, and have you ever done anything like this with an animal? Okay.
Never.
Well, you still haven't.
No,
he still hasn't. So
although I guess if we do that. We've talked about it, but we hadn't got cows, so we hadn't got into it. But if we do that with cattle, I guess I'll be the...
Yeah, no, you will be. So anyway, you could research, you can look up, you can watch videos all day long. And people make things always look easy, especially when they've done it for so long. They even say, like, it's simple. You go in, you're going to feel this resist. Once you feel that resist, you know you're in the right spot. Just go ahead and pop it in there. Boom, she's pregnant. And it's like, okay, is this the resist that he's talking about? Am I deep enough? Like there's a lot of different questions that, like, unless you've done it, you don't know what he's talking about. You're going to feel this, you're going to feel that, or they're going to do this, they're going to act this way. They're not acting that way. So does that mean that they're not? So anyway, I'm going to say a couple things that, like a dummy I am, and I want to make sure that, like, it's said out loud. So one of the questions that frustrated me was like, okay, so after I do this, how do I know they're pregnant? Because they're already fat, they're already big. Yeah. Like, what are the signs that you're going to see? How do I know that a pig is pregnant? Okay. The number one way that you know a pig is pregnant, they won't go back into heat. Okay. I know that sounds silly, and you're probably like, duh. I just want you to hear me say that first thing. That is the way that you know a pig is pregnant. They will not go back into heat. Okay. So the sign that you're looking for is a swollen. What's the
Viola?
Viola, bro. Viola is like an instrument, I think. Anyway,
that's a violin. Viola.
We'll
go with that.
The backside. We're going to go with that. And every 21 days. Okay. So you can literally, we did this when we found out one was not pregnant. Standing heat 21 days after she was standing heat. Yep. I mean, right back in it. So anyway, they swell. And that's how you know. And we saw that. That was our first time really looking at it.
And we can do pigs that way because they go back in the heat so quick.
Yep.
You know, where a heifer, we might not be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's so long. You know, we'll start seeing larger nipples or swelling down there and get some milk and be like, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
But a pig,
does that a little bit, but like this is the number one way that you know.
Yeah, because 21 days later, she's
21 days. So we have it marked on a calendar of their heat cycle now. There is still one we haven't really. I just haven't
went into heat.
I don't know, man. Like I
gotta keep
to be honest,
her too, because if she don't go into heat, we need to
get her out of here. Yeah, but so we jumped the gun on this one. To be honest with you, like we saw that there was a swollen backside. So we said, hey, you know what? We're going to go ahead and order the stuff. Okay. So we went with the company that I'm happy with. I'm still happy with. They did a great job with their customer service over the phone. And so called them up. They walked us through it. I even told them, hey, I'm brand new, bro. Don't use term that I don't know. Just talk straight to me. So we ordered it. It was too soon. So that could have been a reason.
We had to try to keep it. So that could have been an issue.
That was another reason. I don't think we kept it the correct temperature that it needed to be. So now that we know date of standing heat is when that backside is swollen, that area is swollen. There's a thing called standing heat, and that's when the female will literally stand there and let you sit on the back. If you're a boar, she's going to stand there and let the boar do its thing. Okay. So you can walk up, you can put pressure just with your hands on just kind of closer to her tail, on her back, push down. And if she just stands there, that's standing heat. That's what we're referring to. She's ready. And also we did get some boar spray, to spray to kind of, like just put some smells out there that kind of, lets the ladies know that there's a boar close. And, it happened, and it was exciting because it finally happened. I was going out there 2 times a day just to see if this one that looked swollen was going. And you kept saying, "Just do it, just do it, just do it, just do it," Mr. Impatient. But she did finally, and you weren't there, but which was a little bit of a challenge in itself because you have the other ones that you are now sprayed this spray, and then you have this. The stuff that you're using out in the open, and they're wanting to know what you're doing. And this girl's letting me sit on her back. So there's a lot of distractions, a lot of things happening that one person trying to fight off. If you can take her into a different paddock by herself, that would be better. If you had a farm hand helping to kind of push them away.
Well, or when I come out there and helped you and I was taking pictures and
that's all he did. The one time he helped me, he wasn't like helping me. He was literally like just filming me. And
I'm going to post some of that. Now that we've talked about it, see, I can post those too.
That's fine.
So
and I'm not embarrassed by it. I'm actually proud of it.
I mean, it's not gross. It's fine.
It's not gross. And the other thing is it's actually a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot faster. So anyway, I'm not going to walk through the actual process of us doing it, but I will say we did it. And something else I didn't know is normally you try to do 2 to 3 doses. So it's not just like you get one vial and that's it. You want to do more. The reason why is because within that window of the proper of what I've been told is once you notice, like that morning that you walk out, the night before they weren't, you walk out and they are in a standing heat, you want to wait 12 hours. And some say 24, but 12 hours and then put that first one in. I think a lot of that has to do with just timing is everything. like making sure that like it's within the right time. You do 12 hours, and then the next dose you do another 12 hours, and then if she's still in that standing heat, then you're gonna do another 12 hours. But for us, we probably jumped the gun all over the place.
Yeah,
to be
because
honest.
My wife actually brought up a good point. We didn't think about it. We were just excited, like, oh, it's time, we can do it. She was like, well, it may be a blessing if they didn't take, because then you're gonna have winter time.
I knew about it. For me, it was I just want to get the I want to go.
Yeah, we would have dealt with it.
We would have dealt with it.
It would be much easier.
Well, I've got a place on my property now to where if we do have something, we have a place to put them. Like if we have to like little piglets or whatever it is.
Well, the permanent structure for their housing that we're looking at building.
Yeah.
We're going to build it outside the perimeter and just take the fence out there.
That's right.
To where it's not taking up their space. It's outside that. But also we can put a gate there, and we can always.
It's going to allow some really good shelter for a farrowing female. So
that, and when we're doing the AI next time, we can put them in there, put all the others out, and then you just focus on the one.
So we were able. I ended up getting 4 doses, which would be 2 pigs. And so one went into heat, and I went back to do another dose, and she was no longer in the standing heat. So once again, we weren't storing it correctly. So it was probably already shot by the time that the other one, 3 days later, went into standing heat. I got her twice. That one I did get twice. And then the next one was the following day. And there is a reason. There's a reason why we, of course, jumped the gun and weren't prepared. But they try to tell you, hey, before you do it, wait a cycle. Like, figure out when they go into standing heat and mark that on your calendar. And that way you know when to order. Where we ordered said, hey, it's good potentially up to 7 to 10 days if stored correctly. And what you really want to do is, that date's coming up. You're seeing the signs that everything is still in the right direction right there. You want to order a day to 2 before, and then that way you don't miss that and you get it right when it's ready to go. And it was simple to do. It was a simple method. Unfortunately, we thought the heat cycle, the second heat cycle, or the first one, after we tried to get them impregnated, they didn't show all the same signs. So I thought, they're pregnant.
Yeah.
No,
none
of them. I will say the green one, which was the last one that we did, I can't remember if she was showing signs last time. I know the red one, obviously. We knew right away the red one. I thought maybe, no, because I did say I think we have the blue and green one.
Yeah.
So the blue one is the first one that we did. She went back into heat this second cycle. So obviously she's not pregnant. But that green one, I'm telling you, she doesn't look the same because it was swollen. It was majorly swollen. It doesn't look the same. Yeah. And you can only have so many pictures on your phone before it becomes like a major issue when someone looks at your camera reel. But anyway, we learned a heck of a lot.
Yeah, you can look at that as a total failure and bum yourself out and not try again. Or you could look at it like, hey, they didn't take, but guess what? That's some cheap education because now we've learned a lot.
Exactly right. We paid for some education to learn because I even looked at you and said, I know exactly what to do now. And I do. I feel very confident in that. There is potential that it was good. It was just the position of the fighting off them, trying to get it up instead of down. I mean, a lot of different scenarios could have played a major factor. It wasn't deep enough, so there's a lot of stuff that I know that I'm going to look for and take my time with next time. That's the other thing is don't rush it.
Yeah.
When you're
trying. And if so they didn't take, but it's kind of a blessing on one hand that we don't have to litter through the winter, have a litter. But then also, come spring or closer towards the end of winter, we know what we're doing and we don't miss. If we had waited, and we made all these mistakes in the spring, then it's a setback.
Yeah.
So the timing kind of was good, really, because if we were going to fail, I'd rather fail going into winter than fail going into spring.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Well, now we would be hitting, since the first, we would be waiting 2 more cycles, and then we're gonna. My goal would be to try to get it this month.
Well, if you get them, it's okay. I mean, like we can get pregnant in the winter. We want them to come. We want them to be littered like right as it's starting to warm.
Well,
back
it will
out.
be. Okay. It will be. If you do the math on that, it should be. If that was February, March, April, probably mid-April going into May. That would
before they birth.
That's the birthday would be right in there. So that'd be perfect. Here's where it gets a little tricky: is do you know the days that they would be going into heat?
No, you do.
I do.
Christmas.
The 21st, the 24th, and the 25th.
What did we say? Always on a holiday.
Always on a holiday. That's another T-shirt. Yeah. Always on a holiday. Yeah. And it's a farmer with their hat and it's covering up their eyes and it's doing this always on a holiday. Yeah, it's perfect. Got hay. Just yeah. Anyway, yeah. So my goal. I think
you should put that in the bank, and we could I want to do some swag.
Or do some merch. Yeah, some of the phrases that we've said. But that really is kind of a trend that we've noticed is everything is happening on holidays. However, I want to probably connect with that company and see, hey, will you guys be open? Can I put it in? And I know that you can. You can go ahead and put it in an order and tell them when you want it, and they're going to ship it on that day. And they do overnight deliveries. Okay. So I could go ahead and call and have it already ready. And have it done, and we will store it correctly. I know how to store it now. Yeah. You could do like a little mini fridge that has like the temperature, and you can see the temperature. I want to say, don't quote me. I want to say it might have been 60 something, 67. Like that's the sweet spot. I forget, but anyway, I know that now. I know what to look for. They're at a good weight to have them. The green one is still. I've got questions. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about the green one. I just know that I want to try the blue one and the red one. So just 2. I want to leave the green one. And the 2, we don't want to get them all pregnant at the same time. You don't want all these piglets running around everywhere.
It'd be a lot. We might, but if we do 2 at first, and we're like, we can handle one more. Yeah. We'll know what we can handle. I just don't want to step in too deep all at once.
What were you saying about you were looking at them?
Yeah, I was looking at them there yesterday when I was up there, and I was the same way. And I was like, man, none of them. I expect them to start to balloon out, but maybe the green one is bigger than the others.
The green one, number 1,
and I was looking at her like nipples and stuff, see if they had started to swell or anything. But I just
yeah. So out of the 4, we've got blue, red, green, and nothing. No color. Okay, no color. Has not shown signs of heat. We haven't been looking for her. Like she's kind of like
the first time, but she didn't.
Yeah, she didn't. So the other
she's
3
either
are
not on the same cycle or she's not gone at all.
And then so it goes. Blue is the smallest. The red is right after her. Then the no color goes after, and the green is actually the largest already. So she last time weighed was like 333. So the only thing we can go by right now is just looking at body changes, and then to like, once again, we're not going to try to get her pregnant during Christmas. So she's actually the 25th, by the way. So that takes her off for Christmas, which is a good thing. But we need to look at her again and kind of see, hey, did she like question mark? I don't know. So we'll try to do the blue and the red one, over Christmas. Cause that would put us in a really good spot if we can get them.
Yeah.
I would love to get 2 doses as well, but I know what to look for to catch that sooner now to make sure that we're doing that correctly.
That one thing I like is throw this in there about the AI versus owning your own boar is obviously you don't have to feed that boar. You're not having to worry about him breaking out like we had the issues of. Or getting with ones you don't want, or it's just a whole mess. But with the AI, it's really cool. I mean, like I thought it was fascinating. It's like you're sending me pictures, like, what about this pig? And I'm like, his name's Waldo, and a picture of him, and it's like, that's pretty cool that you could. Well, we did Waldo last time. Let's try this time, and so you can,
or even mixed breed too as well.
It gives you freedom to
that's right.
Really pick and choose what you're breeding with. I mean, a plethora, a bunch of different animals. Males.
I like their names that they have too. Some of them are like Tank, Bulldozer.
And you get to see the picture, and they're huge.
Yeah. Titanic. I mean, like there are like these weird names, but yeah, they're all different breeds, and you could do any.
It's kind of like a pig sperm vending machine. You just get in there and pick you, but this one. Okay, too far. Leave it.
What I do like though is anytime you can talk to a person, everybody knows that is the best type of customer service you can ever have.
Absolutely.
I mean, yes, when you go to a big box store and you can walk up and you can buy a product and do it yourself, that's great, but not with a cartload, right? Or if you have questions about something. So one thing I liked was I was able to call them up. I was able to tell them what our operation is and what we're doing, and they were able to tell me what would be a good pick. And it wasn't about money. Everything falls back to, yes, of course they're there to make money, but they know that if they can get me and get me the product that I want, and I'm a satisfied customer, I'm always going to go back to them.
Right,
and,
absolutely.
And that was something I liked about that company. And
I like that when you can find that, and you can just, you don't have a question, you don't have to shop for it. Once you find a good, that's the thing about customer service. If you find a good company, even if, whatever XYZ company over here is a little bit cheaper, but you've got a good relationship with these people, and it's just so much easier just to call and do. I try to find that with feed and everything else, and that's proved to be that's a whole nother episode. But so yeah, if this company, we found them the first time and we use them for our donors, I mean, that'd be awesome just to know that's who we're going with, and we may change up the boars that we use through them as we go, but having that relationship with the company would be great.
Well,
and being able to talk to them, that's a big deal, like you said.
It gets a little tricky though. If I know that I've done everything right, then it may turn into, if the product isn't working for you, you may have to shop somewhere else. So, but we'll see how this all goes. We just want to update with you as we had talked about in the past about this is something we wanted to try. We did try it. Unfortunately, we don't think it worked, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to work. You have to pay for education, and that's the way that we did talk about that. About hey, we paid some money. Education. It wasn't crazy amount of money. It was money, it was money. But we'll do it again. Hopefully this month. We'll keep you updated on it.